When I started freelancing, I was just trying to make rent. I was trying to cover my expenses. Fast forward a few years, my agency's doing multiple millions a year. We're profitable, fully remote, and it's actually fun. But the road here was not glamorous. I made mistakes, I undercharged, I overworked, I'm flying across the country, I almost burned out more than once, almost went bankrupt once, but it's worked out. In this video, I want to share the 21 biggest lessons I learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, the painful, that helped me go from a freelancer to running a multi-million-dollar agency. And I'm doing it on my terms. I think this is the most important part. I wake up, I work out, I walk my kids to school, I work, I call it a day by 5 p.m. I coach their teams. I'm not working on the weekends, and it's sustainable and it's profitable. Call it lifestyle design, call it what you want, but I've tried to make it bend to how I want to work each day. So if you're freelancing or you're building your own shop and you're hitting a wall, I've been there. Steal this, steal what works, learn from my mistakes, and hopefully this can help you. So let's jump in. All right, number one, pick a niche or niche, whatever we call it. You cannot go premium. You cannot charge the price that you deserve if you are generic, if you're everything to everyone. When you narrow your focus, you increase value. You increase category dominance. You increase the ability for word of mouth to happen because people are like, oh, you need an agency that just does Jasper marketing for B2B SaaS. You got to go with this one. So when you think of the niche to focus on, is it vertical, like a PPC agency for SaaS? It could be horizontal, where you just do email for everything. You could focus by tool. You just do Jasper, you just do VWO, or you could ride a trend, right? The community as marketing trend, the influencer marketing trend. You could be an agency that just does cryptocurrency. The more specific you get, the faster you're gonna build a reputation and you're gonna get referrals. And this is the hardest advice to take. It's the easiest to give, but the hardest to take. All right, number two, jump on an emerging trend. Do you wanna have tailwinds or headwinds? And if you jump on the right trend, you're gonna have those tailwinds. And timing beats talent. So if you start a TikTok ads agency a year after the platform launches, you could become the TikTok agency. But if you start an SEO agency in 2025, oh my goodness, that is tough. Your agency number 1,000,004 when it comes to SEO. So look for those opportunities. It could be a new technology, a new movement, a new industry. Early adopters get pricing power. Early adopters win the market. So something to think about with where you're focusing. With our agency, we really rode on the wave of growth hacking, was the wave that we were able to ride. All right, number three, be vocal about what you do, but more importantly, what you don't do. Your sales call should actually be a disqualifying call. Tell prospects what you don't do. It builds trust. And always tie your scope to ROI. If the client can connect your work with revenue, you'll never have to justify your fees. So two big callouts there. One is always tell clients what you don't do, because if they feel like you're just saying yes to everything they want, you will lose trust. And if you can speak their language and tie back your work to ROI, you will have better retention. You will be more sustainable. They're not going to cut you when it comes time when market isn't great and they have to look at expenses. All right, number four, do free work, but strategically. This is a little counterintuitive. The early days, you're like, we got to make money. But early on, free work can really be an asset. It's leverage. So pick projects where you could do things for free. And that could be in exchange for something like a case study, a testimonial, a referral. And ask up front that, hey, if I crush this, if I work on this, will you give me that case study? Will you give me an introduction? This is how I got into Techstars, was by doing free work. That opened it up to be a speaker there that really helped me get to 6 figures on the back of that. Find clients, but from a bottoms-up approach. Because if you're charging a premium price, all it takes is one client to really validate the investment of time or energy. So stop waiting for inbound, create a list of your dream 500 clients, and then build content that is specifically targeted for them. And that content should answer those questions that keeps them up at night. And you can answer them through YouTube videos, short form videos, ebooks, podcasts, mini guides, or just send it personally. But manual beats automated at the start. Doing things that don't scale is an advantage when you're a lean agency or consultancy when you're starting. Now, by the way, if you want help building out a predictable growth system for your own business, you can book a call with us. It's a free strategy session. Just click the link in the description below. We've helped dozens of businesses scale to 8 figures, and I'd love to see how we could help you as well. Okay, back to the video. Number 6, use value-based pricing. Please, please, please do not sell hours, sell outcomes. Retainers should be tied to the impact you create for predictable revenue. Just make sure you can really draw a straight line from your work to sales. And when you think of pricing, look at the value you will drive in the next 12 months and then think of it as a percentage of that. Could be 10, could be 20%. That's where your pricing should lie. Number 7, bill upfront, protect your cash flow. Always ask for money at the start of the month, the start of the engagement, because this will really change how you can hire. You're not a bank. Invoices work before the work starts. When I switched to upfront billing, my cash conversion cycle went from 60 days to 14 days. That's the difference between stress and stability. It allows you to reinvest your business and hire faster. All right, number 8, over-index on phenomenal onboarding. In other words, what's your first impression? For us, we really started to map out and almost script the first 30 days of a project to set the tone. So for example, week 1, we set the roadmap, get buy-in. Week 2, we engineer a quick win. Week 3, we want to teach them something about their customer or about their market that they don't know. That way, at the end of the first month, our goal was to have them basically be like, wow, this agency is legit. How can we wow them? And so we try and engineer those magic moments into the first 30 days so we have longer engagement. All right, number 9, track your numbers or your unit economics. You're a new business owner now, so you need to know the health of your business. And I can do it now with less than 10 metrics that help me be proactive rather than reactive in the company. And for me, those metrics are simple. Cash and bank, my headcount as a percent of revenue, wanting it to be under 50%, meaning of the revenue I make in the year, I want half of that to go to people. Profit margin, my accounts receivable and payable, client churn rate, utilization, projected pipeline for the upcoming month, my cost per sales meeting, and we just started doing team NPS score. Numbers tell the truth, your optimism won't. These numbers allow you to know where you need to focus to dial things in. For example, there was a time sales were looking great, but our margins weren't good. This exposed that. Another time when the pipeline's getting low, really need to understand, hey, we've got to focus on marketing. Number 10, invest in thought leadership. Content compounds. Whether it's writing SEO content like Client Boost or publishing expert pieces like Animals or sharing hot takes like David C. Baker, every post you write helps people get exposure to how you think, how you work, and solidifies your place as a thought leader and your point of differentiation. It might not get a lot of results in the early days, but it will compound. And while some people think it's used for acquisition, I find that it's better for conversion. Once people get to the website, it's a shortcut to see if we're the right fit for them. Build a predictable lead flow. In the early days, you're going to get a lot of referrals, but those are really hard to scale. So build systems for driving new leads and new clients. That could be in the form of organic content, in the form of partnerships. It could be through paid ads or scaling cold outreach. If you ever want to sell your company, the buyer is going to ask you, what is the driver of revenue? Where do leads come from? And you need to answer that, hey, other than luck or that I hope some referrals come in, you have a predictable way to drive business. So even if you don't want to sell your business, building it to sell, this is one of the key components of that. Number 12, fire bad clients fast. A bad client costs more than money. It impacts morale, it impacts momentum. Your A players will leave if this really starts to stack with managing tough personalities. The agency game is a hard one, and whenever you have your A players working on tough accounts, that won't last forever. So politely finish the project, over deliver on the way out, but move on. Protect your team's energy. It's It's your real competitive advantage, and it's a great signal to the team when you do things like this. Number 13, build a team around results, not hours. You're hiring adults, you're hiring A players, not robots. Measure outcomes, not time, and this will be something you can reward people for. We like to build variable pricing based on performance or based on rev share or retention of a client. Give people ownership, give people autonomy and flexibility, and give them an opportunity to have variable compensation, remove that ceiling. You will find that your A players will respond to this very well. Number 14, reward over delivery. What does that mean? When someone pushes the business forward, celebrate it. Spot bonuses, shout outs, profit shares, small rewards create big loyalty. An A player is worth 3 B players, and this works. Another thing to think about is when a new technology emerges or a new tactic emerges, allow your A players to go all in on it, pay for the course, pay for the learning, pay for the community. This will be something that energizes them and it elevates your agency. Number 15, design a work lifestyle you'd actually want. So for us, we thought about how we want to set up our week. We only have client meetings Tuesdays to Thursdays. And on Mondays, those are just for internal meetings. And on Fridays, that's ideally no meetings. Yes, we have lots of stacked meetings, but the team loves this and responds to it. That way, if they want to take a 3-day weekend, they can do it if they have the job done. Also, outside of internal and client meetings, people can work whatever hours they want. They can take off whenever they want as long as the job gets done. Side hustles, they're encouraged. So if you wouldn't want to work for your own company, why would anybody else? While some companies are remote forced, we are remote first. This has allowed us to take people from some of the top companies out there because of the way we set up lifestyle design for people that want to work remotely. All right, number 16, be intentional with your culture. Culture isn't words on a wall, it's habits you reward. At Growth at ours are simple. We have a no jerks policy. We don't want to repeat work. We have founder's mentality, lead by example, and be a decision maker, not an order taker. And we protect that and everything else gets easier. In the first onboarding call I do with every single new hire, I go through the core values, the people that represent them, and how we work and how we don't work. This sets the tone because all it takes is one person to ruin a culture. But when you get someone that raises the bar, totally changes the game. Number 17, play the long game. Rather than being tactical with short-term moves, think strategic with long-term moves. There are no shortcuts. Agency growth looks exponential only after years of plateaus and things that start to compound. Consistency in the fundamentals, consistency in the good things really compounds faster than, short bursts of hustle. Number 18, share the journey publicly. Document, don't polish. Post wins, post lessons learned, even post your losses. Transparency builds brand equity faster than paid ads or cold outreach. It's the ultimate brand moat. If you can stay consistent with it, people don't want to follow brands, they want to follow people. And as an agency, you can build a reputation, not just the brand, but the people within it. We've gotten so many people because they've been following along for years, and then finally it was the time to work with us. And that was because we really invested in building a personal brand for the key stakeholders. Number 19, learn to sell and teach your team. Whether people like it or not, they're in sales. Anytime they're doing something that's client facing, they're selling staying with the company, they're selling an upsell, or they're selling that, hey, you need to get out. Sales is leadership. If you can't confidently explain the value that you deliver, no one else will be able to do that. So train everyone in communication and even how to sell. That goes for designers and for analysts. Every time you speak to a client, it is a representation of sales. So many times you'll hire people that are good at a task, but are they good at speaking, communicating, and even doing sales? 20, build systems so it runs without you. If you want true founder freedom, build yourself out of the machine. Too many times agency owners are the product and they can never get out of it. So what does that mean? Create SOPs, create dashboards, add leadership layers so the business doesn't collapse when you take a vacation. That's when you've graduated from freelancer to founder, when it's a company that can actually run without you. For us, it was 2 things. Finally being able to afford a leadership team and then launching EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System, by Traction. Those were the big unlocks to go from doer to actual owner. Number 21, hire people better than you. You must raise the bar as you grow. You might feel like you can't get those people or afford them, but if you create the right culture, if you create the right lifestyle design, if you create the right brand because you've really owned that market, those people will actually come to you. And that it means is you start to attract the talent. You're going to get people better than you at these tasks. And all you have to do is hire them and get out of their way and empower them. Some of the hardest problems I had as an agency that I kept hitting my head against the wall on, I simply solved by hiring the right person, and they took it on and they crushed it. And pay those people as much as you can afford. Don't be short-term greedy to be long-term broke. Really think about how much this problem is worth and how much pain you would be in if they weren't here to solve it. I have never regretted paying A people more than I was thinking through. Build the machine. Fire yourself from the day-to-day, and these are the core people to hire. First, the specialists. If you're a design firm, hire designers. They're the product. If you've been the designer, it's time to fire yourself and elevate to another role. Project managers, PMs, the right one will save you so many hours in a day. This was a huge unlock. And then finally, sales. This allows you to truly function as a CEO and get out of the day-to-day. Document everything along the way to find the right people in these three core categories. Hire senior people, not junior people. I disagreed with this advice until I did it. Junior people can work, but they require hand-holding, training, you're hovering. If they don't work, it's super painful. The right senior hire will do the job you did 3 times better and grow revenue. They remove problems off your plate. You can't imagine life without them. Do this sooner than you think. Every time I made this hire, I was a little nervous to do it, and then 3 months later, I couldn't imagine the agency without them. Streamline communication and kill email. Train your clients not to email you, not to call you, not to text you, but to go through the process. For us, it is funneling everything through Slack. If you have a good project manager and a good process, the client will respect this, regardless of what they say kicking and screaming in the sales process. Do weekly meetings, do daily Slack updates, earn their trust, earn their respect, and then you can pull it back. Our team is trained to know to quickly respond to something within 4 hours and get an answer within 24 hours. Leverage technology to be a one-person sales team. In the early days, I think I was functioning as a 5-person sales team with one person because of how tech forward we were, from using Typeform and Calendly and Pipedrive to Zapier to Read AI to Superhuman to PandaDoc to the Mailshake app. It was all integrated, took a lot of time to get those things connected, but it allowed us to really scale and build the systems so as we build a sales team, it was ready to go. Sell strategy, not execution. You can end up selling execution, but always lead with strategy, and execution is secondary. If the sales goal immediately goes to price and you're commoditized, it is not going to go well. You must be positioned as a thought leader and decision maker and not the order taker in those scenarios. Here's how that sales call should go. First, understand their number one problem, and then right then and there, qualify them or disqualify them based on what they need and what you can do. If qualified, show them your custom process on how you do this better than anybody else, how you're uniquely positioned to be the right partner for them. Give specific examples of either their industry or the phase that they're at and the transformation you did. That alone will put you in the seat to be the strategic leader and not some commoditized execution partner. Build up 4 months of burn before making a hire. If your headcount costs, I don't know, $40,000 per month, then you're going to want $160,000 in the bank before making your next hire. Some companies want 6 months or 12 months, but if you have recurring retainers with low churn, you could even be more aggressive and take that down to 2 months. But those are kind of the rules of thumbs that I would use whenever making decisions on hiring based on our balance sheet, based on our cash reserves. Now, if you've hit 7 figures, but growth is feeling inconsistent, it's not predictable, and you're just not sure where to focus, click the link in the description below and book a free strategy call with us at Growth Hit. We'll go through your business together. We'll uncover what's blocking growth, how to remove it, and how to scale to that next phase, and tell you exactly where to put your attention. So again, click the link below in the description and book a free call with us. If you want to learn how to use AI to automate your meta ads, your Instagram ads by using Claude Cowork, click right here. Would love to show you some of the fun things we're doing to make an AI-powered ad team and scale it across your company.